Hello folks and welcome back. We are inside the Mercedes AMG Gt3. This is a GT3 car. It came with update 1.32, the latest update, and we're actually going to just go and test out this car today. And what's the best way to test it? For those of you who are fans of the channel, you'll know where we go to test cars. We go to the Human Comedy. We could take this to Deep Forest if we wanted to, because it's showing GT3 cars there, look. But no, we could take it GT3 to the Red Bull Ring. But no, we're going to Lago Maggiorre. The setting for today. The car will be running on medium tyres. We're going to go on the softest compound available. It is bopped. Let's just take a look at the setup. It's bopped there. We can't change anything. We've been and we've purchased the gearboxes, we've purchased the turbochargers, but we can't use them. So this is as is. It's on a normal gearbox, not a racing transmission. So as it is what it is. Let's get over to the track. And here we go. Settings are assist, traction control 1, default ABS, everything else off. We are using a manual transmission, and with that being the case, we are on a steering wheel. Open button configuration, torque max feedback 5 and sensitivity 6. Let's have a look at the target. So with any car we come here, we're aiming to complete that 31st lap. We've only done this once since the game was reset, so we've done the RX Vision GT3 concept and that got us to the top of the list. All within the top 5, we're second sitting there. People have used the GT3 16. This car is 4 years on from that, so without further ado, let's just get stuck in, folks. Here we go then, folks. Fuel map 1. Just check the microphone's working before we go anywhere. So then, update 1.32. We don't know actually whether they've changed anything for 1.32. We know update 1.31 was a little bit challenging for some of these races, that they've increase the difficulty in hard, and it looks like they're trying to resolve the issue where sometimes, most of the time, it's been easier to complete these races on the hard setting. So they are actually making the hard more competitive, which for me is absolutely fabulous. I dig the harder races. I'm not frustrated by having to take multiple goes or having to work out the actual setup or whatever. That doesn't bother me at all. I'm not concerned with having it easy so that I can just romp my way through. But for those of you that do, that's up to you. You'll find I play almost everything. I say almost everything. Now I've done one but unpublished video where I've done it on all 3 levels, easy, medium and hard. And because of that, I won't claim I've done everything on hard, but I do enjoy it on hard. So read that as you will. So we're just making our way up through the field. I don't know if I told you, but they did reset the game. So you can see our record there is 31 laps at the top. And that's from just being extremely quick. The people we have to chase down in this race are Mr. Rubilar, because he is the one that is going to go and set the pace for the race, and we just blew that corner there. We need to hang with Mr. Rubilar because he is the one that is going to potentially be the one we have to beat. But Mr. Cookabun is going to give him the slipstream, and we're just outside it, look, at 0.73. Just get on the brake early, there we go. Because we're carrying a bit of speed into there, and we've all gone wide. Just move Mr. Cookabun out, so we're with Mr. Rubilar. It's great to see the AI making mistakes, because we all do it, and that's not a mistake, folks. You can go wide on that part of the circuit. So we're up to 5th, Mr. Yamanaka in 1st, Inostroza in 2nd. We're going to take the short line in. Mr. Robillard is just going to squeeze us, but we're going to stay in 3rd gear, short shift it through, get the draft off him to pull us up the hill. Then we're going to just be a little bit wider. Up front is Mr. Beauvoir. He's in the old 16 version of this car. But this is very short geared, long geared, this version of the car. We're very rarely going to use 6th gear, I think. Mr. Yamanaka has the fastest lap. We're going to use 6th there for overtaking. Brake early though. Mr. Robillard kinda went to the gravel, slowed himself down a bit. We're going to see if we can get Mr. Inostroza and then give Mr. Beauvoir a chase down. I'm expecting the fastest lap to get much quicker yet. Maybe 3 seconds quicker, maybe in the 57s. I don't know how we will do with that, but I'm getting used to the brake mod that I made last month. Mr. Inostroza just tucks in behind us in the brake zone. Now we're going to tackle Mr. Beauvoir. Then Mr. Yamanaka, who I think is going to do everything but come back to us. I think we're going to have to chase him down. We're having the car just running wide there. Need to get this car turned in, and it turns well on the brakes, but it doesn't turn well under power. Oh, use the long gear to run out from there. Robillard is not past Inostroza yet. See if we can chase Beauvoir down. We are normally much faster than the AI through this part of the circuit. 5.2 seconds behind Yamanaka, 1.7 behind Beauvoir. We're purple by almost half a second. I don't think we're going to take 6th gear this time round. Use all that corner, folks. Brake just before the end of the wall on the left hand side, dive down, use all the red and white. It's all legal cornering, it's just an inside curb. You can cut that corner as well, but under the new update 1.31 you get a little bit of instability through the corner if you put quite a lot of your car on the grass. So Yamanaka with the fastest lap of 1:58.454. Is he going to improve on that this time round? As he goes through the line, he increases it to a 1:58.185, and we go a 1:57.942. And we messed up the first 2 corners on that lap. So if we can improve that, not forgetting this car turns well under braking, so get it on the brakes and turn it in. Didn't expect to have the fastest lap of the race quite so early on. But reeling Mr. Yamanaka and Mr. Beauvoir in now. I don't expect that to be the case for all of this race. I kind of expect to be under pressure and on the gun for, well, at least until the second pit stop, and coming out of the pit stop I expect to be some 10 to 15 seconds behind. We lost the back end of the car on the curb there, but we're still 0.4 seconds up on the old hot lap. Keeping it in 5th, going to brake on that just after that white marker. Just had to check up as we looked like we were heading to the gravel. Rubilar's just managing to get in Astroza, but he's 4.5 seconds behind us, 5 seconds back. We're going to cut that corner fractionally. Good stability from this car. Purple sector again. Diving in. Using a bit of the grass. A little bit slow through there. Might not improve this time. See if we can get our teammate to give us a bit of a draft. 57.859, that's another fastest lap. Will we get in the 56s on lighter fuel later in the race? All be there to be seen. So we're just holding Yamanaka at 5 seconds. 5.1 he's just pulled it to. Let's see if we can get that down to less than 5. Mr. Beauvoir will give us the drag through these corners. We've just got to watch out for the washout at the front end. Low downforce in his wake. See if we can get him as we can turn in that bit more aggressively. Can we go side by side through here as we take the sausage curb on? He gives us a bump. He cuts right across us. Just 4.8 seconds now to Yamanaka. He's trying to keep us honest, but he has to be forced wide, and we're on it. Now we concentrate on getting Yamanaka. Got to watch Rubilar catching Beauvoir and coming past him. This is my least confident part of the circuit. Occasionally outbrake myself. Yamanaka will feel us coming now. We're halfway through the stint, so coming to the end of lap 5. 5 more to go before we pit stop. As you know, it's common that I forget to pit. Isn't so much critical on the first stint because we're carrying an extra 3 laps of fuel. But what we'll do is we'll benefit from a short fill. We're only going to take like 7 laps of fuel. And then we'll fill for a full 10 in the last stop. .7 seconds now behind Yamanaka. We still hold the fastest lap of the race. We're not going to be draft assisted now. This is all about us chasing down the lead car. This is where we normally dominate through this part of the track because we're much quicker than the AI in this part of the circuit. Last lap was at 57.994, so we're keeping those 57s trucking. We've got him down to 4.1 seconds at this part of the lap. Purple again. .1 seconds still as he immediately pushes it out to 4.2, 4.3. But I can see him in the distance there. A 57.851, fastest lap of the race again. Short shifted there to control this slide, to control the wheel spin. Use all that cut track to cut. As I said, this car turns beautifully on the brakes. Tyres looking good. Purple sector for P1. For sector 1, sorry. Tyres just starting to lose the grip through that S's. I'm going to have to lift on the exit. Quarter of a second up on the fastest lap. At S2. Upper gear. Brake just before the end of the wall. Carrying a lot of speed through there. 3.3 seconds back. Need to just keep teasing him in. Beauvoir is still holding off Robillard. We have a 5.4 second lead over the guys behind us. 57.2. One thing I've never expected was the consistency of this car, but it really does have long gearing. You don't have to use the whole of the gearbox. It is there to be used if you want to try and just conserve fuel at the top end. But quite controlling, just a little bit of opposite lock gave us the chance to control that understeer. We're just going to straighten this line in, so we brake in a straight line, then bring the front end round. A little bit slow through there. As we're just coming through lap 8. Beauvoir is still holding off Robillard. We're just suffering with the tyres starting to give up. Will we get a penalty for that? Running wide? No, we've just lost a second, but we're still within 3.2 seconds of the leader. We just lost a little bit of top end as we came down there. Oh, we lost traction big time. I had to really fight with that to get it back. It was just a question of no brake, no throttle. We lost 2 seconds there to the leader, Mr. Yamanaka. There I was singing the praise of this car, and I've just found the difficulty. Once the tyres lose the traction, this will be a slower lap. He's gone to the pits, Mr. Yamanaka, on 40% fuel, same as us. He's gone after 8 laps. Wow. So we assume P1, and it's down to us to now sprint away. 2 laps till we pit, and it is 2 complete laps, laps 9 and 10. Yamanaka falls way down the field. He's way past 10th place, but that's the problem with pitting early. You've got to put in a long stint at some point. I'm just going to try and get these tyres to get me through till our pit stop, till the pit window. So we lost bang on 3 seconds on that last lap, which is not good. We know we can do 57, so we need to keep it in the 57s. It started with slipping off the track just back there. See how we are, see if we're back to there. Just half a second off, so that should be a 58, which isn't going to be too bad. Get it round this corner, just don't be tempted to brake into it too late. It's 5.6 seconds in the lead. all going to help when it comes to the end. So we've got cars in this race that are going to do 3 stop. We're going to see some 2 stoppers, and there are those 1 stoppers. And hopefully we'll be overtaking those 1 stoppers maybe twice, because they're going to stop after our first pit, and we'll have to we'll fall behind them, and then we'll be in front of them again by our second pit stop, because we'll go past them when they pit, and they'll come back past us when we pit. So we'll then be overtaking them again, and I kind of expect to be in between 7th to 10th place. Here we are on lap 10, so we're going to pit after this one. Beauvoir has pitted now. Robillard is ahead of Beauvoir, some 6.9 seconds back. Beauvoir saved fuel there, he was only on 35%. We're on 31. So we managed to recover a bit of a lap time there of 58.2. This will be an in lap, so we won't see our final time for this lap. Still needs to be good though. 6.2 seconds ahead of Robillard, followed by Kupperman. Stroza behind him. And then Miazano in 5th. Wong in 6th, Fraga 7th. Expecting them guys to come strong. And then Huffman back in 8th. Bit slow there, 1.5 seconds, but the tyres are halfway done, which in itself seems okay, considering their tyres could probably do 15 laps and we'd probably only have to 1 stop. But ultimately 3.7 laps of fuel doesn't mean that you'd be able to do it on fuel map 1. We're only 5.9 seconds now ahead of Robillard, but we are going to pit now, so, and we'll be a bit lighter on fuel and we'll have better tyres. Here we go, let's get it in the pits then. Medium tyres, and we'll fuel. I must have a slurp. News from the track is Robillard comes in behind us. So we're in the pits at the same time. Be neck and neck to see who takes the fuel most. We were on 31, he was on 33. We're going to take to 10.2 laps. It's telling us to take all the fuel, but we're going to take to 10.2. There we go. J1 came in, Fraga came in, so Kupperman, Stroza, Miazano and Fontana all carrying on. Puts us in 5th place, which isn't too bad, folks. We don't have to do all that overtaking. What we have to do though is conquer the weight of the car now with the extra fuel load. Try and be gentle on the tyres and not destroy them early. We need to get back into those 57s as quickly as we can. Get used to that grip level. The in lap was a 2:34, which is a bit horrific. What we are looking for is where Robillard is behind us. But Yamanaka was the guy that pitted first out front, look, and there he is in 7th, 2 places behind us. Mr. Grady in the Audi is the car behind, but we're going to chase down Mr. Fontana, who is 9.3 seconds ahead. Actually put the car up to 6th gear then. Just have to watch the fuel, make sure it's right. We only took 10.2 laps. So we can't forget to pit this time round. Car seemed to want to slide into the corner then. It's because we didn't really give it enough brake. I didn't want to lock it up. I feel fairly confident that we're going to catch them. Fontana's just pitted on 11% of fuel at 6.3 seconds ahead of us. Into the 58s on a full tank of gas, that's not so bad. See if we can improve on those first few laps. We're 13 seconds from the front of the pack. A little bit of oversteer, understeer there, coming out that corner. The car was trying to slide. Straighten the braking here. Get it into the corner on the brakes, then hit the power and push it on out. We just need to be keeping that gap to Yamanaka. He is closing us down at 3.1 seconds. He's been running on his tyres a bit longer, so they're going to be up to temperature. He's going to be used to it. As we just lifted as we mounted that curb in the centre of the track. Just a second off the fastest lap. We're not improving yet. We're 10.5 to Miazano. Running the line there, could probably be in third as we come out that corner. Eight seconds. Ooh, as we just run off the track a little bit. 8 seconds now to Inostroza, 8.4. These guys have got another pit stop, so have we. We've just got to be running that bit quicker than them, because I think they'll be on hard tyres. I do love the sound of this car. Car got unsettled there on those curbs. That was from update 1.31. Just changing how the game dealt with the curbs at low speed. That wasn't really low speed, but just braked a bit late there. Had to pull out of the brakes to get the car to just sort of obey the instructions. I'd made the mistake of leaving it too long to try and let the car run in. Car needs to turn under braking, so just 3.2 seconds ahead of Yamanaka. We're just going to short shift as we go over the crest of the hill. Accelerating out in third, 5.7 seconds behind Inostroza. I think we were better coming out of there in second, to be honest. Kind of hear the tyres scrubbing but not squealing. Car doesn't seem to be handling quite so well as it did last time round, just hitting 58s, not 57s. See if we can get back into that 57 groove that we were in. So now we see him at Inostroza down to 3.7. Yamanaka is catching us at 2.96. Using the long line for acceleration out the corner, keeping it in the higher gear. Much better when you're actually turning at the right point, isn't it? You can get through those corners much quicker when you do it right. I was still driving as though I've got tyre wear. These tyres are good though, 1.8 seconds behind in Nostroza. .3, 7 seconds off the lead. Yamanaka 3.4 seconds back. No sign of Rubilar, no sign of Beauvoir at this point of the race. But it's all going to change as the lead cars start to take their pit for their first pit, their one and only long stop. We give Nostroza a bump, but he was going to the pits. Kukabun went to the pits. That means Miyazano's out there on his own, 4.7 seconds ahead. As we put in a 57.9, which is back to where we should be. Slightly held up by Nostroza at the end of that lap. Yamanaka just got it down to under 3 now, 2.9 seconds. So he's pushing, but he's not going to be far off another pit stop round about 16, 17 if he did an 8 lap pit stop. I can see him in our mirrors. We just need to be catching Miyazano now. In the Lamborghini. Telltale green Lamborghini up front. Slightly off the purple sector time. Fifth fastest lap of the race is with us, a 57.277. We need to get back to that hot lapping level. We need to get back to putting in them consistent 57s. If we could dip into a 56, I'd be well happy. I suppose part and parcel of this is to make sure you guys know this is a decent car and it's one to purchase. One thing you can't do in this game is try before you buy, so all you have to do is sit and watch. Oh, and there goes Miyazano. He's gone to the pits now, so that gives us the lead. He hands that over at 5% fuel. He's doing his one stop for the race. A 57.7 for us, just putting them times in. Can't get the car to turn. Whee! We're 4.1 seconds now ahead of Mr. Yamanaka, who was leading the race early on. But he'll be pitting soon, I would suggest. So what was I saying? Yes, so you can't try before you buy in this game. So if the one thing I can do for you guys is give you a reference, tell you which cars are good enough to beat what to use where, that's what I enjoy doing. It's just helps me play the game, you know. It's alright grinding all day and raking in the cash, but you know, credits in this game win prizes, that's for sure. They get you the next car bought, but you can balance those grinds with these kind of races, and the game changes all the time. So what won last month might not necessarily win this month, but the game doesn't change that much. Well, update 1.31 it did change quite significantly, but at the end of the day, folks, it's a terrific game to keep on playing. It'll keep your attention for a long time, in my opinion. Lap 16. End of this one, there's just 4 more to go until we're pitting again. Car feels nice and easy, nice and light. Starting to crank some lap times in. We're back in the 57s. It'd be nice if we can just get this one into a 57 as well. It's telling me I'm going to go at 58.2 at the minute. How do I know that? Well, I'm a second slower than our fastest lap time. Expecting to do a 58.1 maybe, or a 58.2 just. Unless we can absolutely nail the final sector, which I'm not very good in the 50 final sector. 58.4 wasn't very good at all. What I have discovered with this race, any GT3 car will win it. I haven't found one that won't yet. In my hands anyway. Now, I have run thousands of laps around this circuit on this particular race, in this game. If there was a statistic that said which course you'd run on and how many miles you've run on it, I would say this one is going to be the one I've done the most miles in. Most laps, probably led the most laps against the AI, not necessarily humans. Those of you do know I am working my way to platinum. I just have the one trophy left to get for platinum, which is the 50 online GT Sport races, and you know I hate them. I don't hate the races, I hate the competition, I hate the humans. They drive like I do against the AI, and I just don't like it. However, we're 4.5 seconds ahead of Mr. Yamanaka now. Rubilar has appeared back in third place. With him appearing back in third place, that means he's on a charge. We still have the fastest lap though, but while we're not doing the fastest laps, we're slow. So we have to keep that going. 5 seconds in the lead, 5.1. Back in the 57s. Let's see if we can keep it there. Yamanaka's gone to the pits as forecasted. But what that does now is it gives Rubilar clean passage to catch us up. What we don't know yet is how far behind he is. He's 17 seconds behind. Which, that's a fair chunk, and we've got just 18, 19 and lap 20 to do. And I don't want to see him churning that time out of us. He already is. It's down to 16.8, so he's took 0.03 out of us in the first sector. We have to do a little bit to just arrest his progress. We can't do anything physical. All we can do is drive consistently smooth, put the laps in. 16.6, he's coming quickly. I expect to see the fastest lap fall anytime soon. What we've just got to be aware of, this car starts to slide as it gets light, but the tyre wear is better than it was last time. Back to 17.2 seconds. What we're anticipating anytime soon is the first of the lap cars. Don't normally get to see the tail enders this early, but where is he? There's one there on the track now, halfway down the straight, just making the corner. Back in a 58, only just though. But I do expect the tyres now, as we go on to lap 19, to just be starting to give up their dominance. 17.6 seconds ahead of Rubilar. Not even thinking yet about where we are against our record. Beauvoir goes to the pits maybe 2 laps early compared to last time. He only did an 8-lap stint this time. Got to the end of lap 18 and went in. Matsun Unga's gone in off his hard tyres. Who is this we're approaching? Mr. Moreno in the Jaguar. Yes, it is. He was the first person we overtook at the start of the race. He took the blue flags well with 17.37 seconds ahead. And we have 2.1 laps of fuel to go. What is a little bit dodgy is the time we've got. So on to lap 20. Not in the 57s again, but we kind of expect that at the end of the stint. We don't expect the tyres to be as grippy. What we have to work out and wonder now as we go 17.9 seconds ahead of Rubilar. What we kind of anticipate and what we expect as we run really wide, as we let the car run wide. What we kind of expect to happen is maybe Rubilar takes the pits early, but he hasn't. Gallo's gone in. Maybe one lap early. Short shifted there, going to mount that curb just to get the car turned. No brakes at all. Probably going to be 1.5 seconds off at the split. No, just 0.6, that's cool. But we're diving into the pits this time round. There's no 57 possible here, even though we are going fast enough for a 57. We're going to dive into the pits. The last in lap was a 58. No, it wasn't. It was a 136 something. The out lap was a 58 470. But we're doing okay. Here we go, on to the last lap of fuel. As we come off fourth gear off that corner, diving into the pit lane. Slightly better entry this time. Take the mediums, we're going to fill to 10.2 laps. We're only really concerned with getting that 30th lap in. But we don't want to be short. I'm probably actually going to take 9.6. I'm going to take a risk it for a biscuit. Rubilar comes in behind us. We've got less fuel than he is. He has. We're going to go to 9.6. Just a short fill, just a fraction. We're just going to try and gamble on better fuel use. There we go, 9.6, 19.11 minutes remaining. And we came out of the pits in first place. We have never done that, folks. We have never, ever come back out onto the track in first place. This is a first. We want a really good, consistent end to this race. 1.2 seconds ahead of Lopez. We should be light on fuel, good on tyres. Well, what can I tell you? It's long geared. It's kind of decent on its fuel economy, but I'd like it to be better because I'd like it to be stationary less. I'd like it to be... Is it as quick? It seems to be. It's consistent 57. The failing part on that is the driver. The driver is the weak link in this car, unfortunately. 3.9 seconds ahead now of Lopez. Rubilar's back down in fifth. So he's got to overtake 4 more people before he gets to us. We were 17 seconds ahead when we went to the pits, I believe. And we'd like to be more than that next time he appears in second place. But we will have some overtaking to do. I think Mr. Moreno again. And then we're going to work our way back through the back markers all the way to the end over the next 10 laps. I don't know whether we're going to get the 30th lap yet. I don't know whether we're going to get the 31st lap. I'm kind of thinking lap 31 isn't going to be a possible. Just looking at the time that was left. If we're doing 57s, we're going to save 3 seconds a lap. We're doing 10 laps, so we're going to save 30 seconds. But we're not going to do 57s on every lap, are we? That was a 59 out lap. The last one was a 38. I don't know what's going on there. That's bizarre. That's really weird. 59, 58. So we were 1.207 seconds slower on that out lap than we were last time round. Let's do my maths. Come on. Ran wide. Not good. 6.9 seconds ahead of Lopez. It's the only way we can gauge how well we're doing in the race is to just put time behind us. Just keep recounting where you are. Something I've never talked to you about is how to pace yourself through the race. These time sectors are very, very important. We're 1.79 seconds down on our fastest lap. But be aware of the importance of that phrase, fastest lap. Fastest lap might not be the fastest part of the race. So we're on new tyres, we're heavy on fuel because we've got a full 10 laps in, well 9.6. Mr. Moreno again is going to move out the way. He's a very diligent driver, Mr. Moreno. He knows we're coming. He will clear the line, he'll let us go. He definitely did that time. He knew we were coming, he eased off. He knew we'd take the narrow line. As we come round, I expect this to be almost a 59, maybe genuinely will be a 59. There it is, a 59.9, almost a 2.0. But as we go faster, we will get lighter on fuel. Sorry, as we go further, we will get faster because we'll be lighter on the fuel. And the tyres will come into their own. They will start to grip more. The car will get predictable. We'll start to feel better in the car. The sun's going down now. It's about to dip down over the mountains at the end of the lake. Just dip down into second to just control the slide. 8.2 seconds ahead of Mr. Lopez. Oh, Yamanaka. Lopez has dropped back down. Mr. Yamanaka is coming charging, followed by Rubilar. I'm kind of hoping he's pitted, but I'm guessing he's not. I don't want to get too complacent. It's easy to get complacent and just lose where you are. 15 minutes till the end of the race. Yeah, those time splits are really important in managing your own capability, managing where you are in the race. We're getting to that point in the race where if I'm really going to drive it to the end, I'm going to want to start to hit those 56s. We have got 7 laps to do. little bit wild and woolly around that corner, but Yamanaka 8.1 seconds behind as we struggle to get the front end in, but we're just going to let it run. Use that third gear to push it out the corner. Well, they're not catching, that's the good thing. We also haven't got any back markers in front of us at this point in time. But I am going to really want to start pushing for that 56. It won't be this time round. And we're a little bit ahead of, a little bit away from really getting into the back markers. Probably left that brake in just a wee bit too late there. So 58. 11 minutes to go. It looks like we're going to get 5.5 more laps in. We're going to get round to halfway through lap 30 is what it looks like. Although I'll be stunned because we haven't completed lap 25 yet. We might only get 29 laps in. A much more convincing win, but than we did in 1.31 anyway, but not convincing in terms of laps. But it's a much more stable drive than the RX, even though the RX felt much faster. I think they might have toned the AI down in this race. Yamanaka's now fell back to 11 seconds back. And I see a car in front of us. It'll be a tail ender, something like an Alpha 4C maybe. That's what it is. GT3 version. Mr. Sana. He's going to pull to the left, I think, give us the draft. We're going to take him to the inside line though, just to get a little bit of a shoot on, and we were aware of that when we're braking for the corner, so we broke just a fraction early, and then the back end kicked out on us. Mr. Sana then attacked our rear end. I thought he was going to pump us around the corner then. That's not going to be fun. Don't like to be pumped around a corner. Lap 26. We're in the 58s. We haven't got anywhere near a 57. In fact, we're just backing off the 57s. We got to a 58.1, which in my head is close to a 57. But we need to be a second quicker than that. I suppose the challenge actually is, and it's something I've been working on, is to win this on a one-stopper. And the challenge with that is, could you do the 15 laps on medium tyres, or would you have to go to hards to do the 15 laps, suffer being able to do 2-minute laps maybe? 159s. Is this the RCF 500 in front of us? RCF 300, sorry. Just 11 seconds ahead of Mr. Yamanaka now. Mr. Rubilar still charging hard. I believe Rubilar is about to make the pass on Yamanaka. Mr. Matsununga, what are you going to do? You just made room for me there on the inside. Yamanaka pitted. That was an unusual thing, but I guess that's about right though, isn't it? Rubilar then 14.69 seconds behind. Yeah, so ultimately folks, part of the process here is to prove that this car is capable of the win. And I think we've almost proven that. Is it a record setter? I don't think it's going to be. It'll get you onto your friends list, definitely. Anything with the winning, you'll be able to win the race to get your human comedy sector 1, your missions. This race would be very different with rain, I would have thought. It's never rained here. I don't feel under pressure at this moment. I didn't feel I was very close to getting another lap in, so ultimately I haven't pushed to get another lap in. I think it's only going to make 29 laps. If I'd hit more 57s, it will actually get to the 30th lap, I believe. It will do. But as a new addition to the game, is it worth the 450 or 480,000 credits? Absolutely it is, folks. If you're going to put this in your arsenal, I would get it in the cupboard straight away. It'll become a very usable car. If you're going to sign for Mercedes in the online championships, this will be one of the cars you get, I'd suggest. They'll update the 16 to the 20 car. We might get a little penalty for that. We put all 4 wheels on that corner. See if we're generous. Looks like we're being generous. 16 seconds ahead of Rubilar. As we put 2 tyres in the gravel. Didn't want to do that, that wasn't intentional. We haven't got any back markers in front of us. We've only actually overtaken 2 or 3, I think. We haven't had them in our way, and I remember in one of the earlier races, well, 1.31 in the RX Vision, we were having to smash our way through them, just literally overtake, just to try and catch the leaders, using them for the draft. But we're so far ahead this time round that we're not with them. They are into the next corner. Fastest lap of the race is with us, a 1:57.277. Mr. Gallo goes for a late pit. He's got plenty of fuel. He doesn't have to pit right now. It just might be his tyres. Following team orders, our tyres are looking exceptionally good. The rears have got even wear. The fronts are slightly off balance, but we've got comfortable wear. We're not going to lose any scrub on these bad boys. And genuinely, folks, I haven't been pushing. I will not want to make a mistake. We've got the lead. We're driving for the win. It's only down to us that we can lose it. Come around to complete lap 29 and put us on to lap 30. The clock's counting down on 1:46. Fastest lap of this stint is a 1:58.144, which was way back at the start of this stint. We've got 1 point more. We've run really wide there. Didn't really want to do that. All four wheels over the line. A 58.3. Well, onto what will be the final lap of the race. 17.9 seconds ahead of Rubila for a really easy, smooth win. No real dramas, no real frustration. Got ourselves to the pit stops. Was expecting to come out of the last pit stop in 10th place, but came out clear in the lead by 2 seconds. I say clear as 2 seconds can be. It's a full gap, isn't it? Cookerburn pits late with only 43, but he only had 1% of fuel. He was only going to have to pit, wasn't he? Oh, it's such a shame. Mr. Moreno coming round to pit him again. Pit him? Lap him. Just having to lift there so we don't run too wide. Counting down, 25 seconds to go. We needed another 30 seconds. If we'd have run consistent 57s with those 2 pit stops, we'd have got that 31st lap. I don't think this car's got the fuel consumption to get the 15 laps in on hards. Could it do it on mediums? You know, that's an idea. We'd have to reduce the fuel. One single solitary stop for maybe a minute, and then we'd have to pit stop for... We got 0.2 left on the fuel. We'd have to pit stop for less than a minute, and then we'd have to lap in the 58s. Would that be possible? I don't know, but there's the first on 30 laps. We didn't get that 31st lap in, even though it shows at the top. That was our previous. So there we have it, the victory to the new AMG Gt3 Clearly ahead, 18.35 seconds. We lapped just the one car twice, and we lapped everybody up to 13th place. Obviously, a lot of those lappings were taking place as they were pitting and we were going past. But there it is. Fastest lap of the race went to us on lap 7 with a 1:57.277. We didn't actually dominate the race on a lighter fuel and better tyres. But there she is, there's the car. And just going to the ranking board, we won't see any change for us. There we are, we remain in second. And with that, folks, I'd just like to say thank you very much. Great to have you with us. Thank you for stopping and watching. If that's a car you want to buy and you're not sure about buying it, get it, use it, and we'll see you on the next one. All the best, folks. Take care.